Hello, this is going to be my second video on about the Camaro. Some things that I've run into, again, some things I'm not that impressed with, but other things are pretty nice. Of course, it has a really nice sound. It takes off really well. Has a decent amount of power. I'll check the thing later. This, again, like the Challenger, has an issue with you have to move your leg to open the door because the handle's there. I think they did it because they wanted this funny piece of plastic here to be all one piece, and it does have a neat, pretty light at night, but because of that, then it forces the latch way at the bottom. It has on the steering wheel your phone and your radio buttons here. You can set your cruise control there. Over here, right there, it has on for each side, these are seat heaters. My guess is because this is a convertible. The radio seems to work, although they don't have XM enabled. It's there. Oh, this actually turns it off. So traction control actually is set up on this one. It's the first one that I've had where you can turn it off. Alrighty, let's go for a little ride. Alright. I don't know if you can see that. It has a heads-up display, which is interesting at night and when it's not too bright. But if you notice, once it gets into the sun, you don't really see it very well. Pretty nice. It's a very hard suspension in this thing, though. Sort of jerk your kidneys off if you're not careful. So it goes pretty good. Gotta watch it. There's not a lot of places in Washington, D.C. to really test this thing out. You almost would have to test it out at 3 a.m. and have to find the time to actually test this out because there's just too much traffic to test this. The speedometer is nice. I mean, there's actually 3 places that does the speedometer. You have that centerpiece, you have the regular dial speedometer, but to be honest, you end up looking at the middle one or the heads-up display, especially at night, you notice it. Air conditioner works pretty good. You almost never look at the oil temperatures. I suppose if you're racing, you might use those, but I think they're more of a gimmick. You can do the manual transmission, and then these buttons work for up and down. Come on, guys, let's go. Green. Let's see what else about it. It does have a blind spot in the back, way over here, but I think a lot of that has to do with the convertible. Of course, when the convertible's down, you have no blind spot. But when the top's up, there's a pretty bad blind spot right there. Especially when you come up at an angle onto a road that has an angle on it. What else? The air conditioning's nice. It's a little bit fiddly though. I mean, you have to. It takes a little bit of time which button does what. So there's a lot of buttons, and it's not quite old style. It's new style, so it's more fiddly. It's not bad, but it's something you have to get used to. There's your switches for the door. Mirror seems to work. Like I said, these mirrors work decent. They're better than the convertible Mustang. I still think the Mustang actually has a little bit more wow factor in the torque side of it. This one goes well. Of course, all these go pretty good, but the Mustang seems to pull your head back a lot faster. I think this has a little bit better brakes than the Mustang GT. Seems to really yank pretty good when you want it to. Like I said, the suspension's pretty heavy. Oh, there is a blind spot a little bit in the front, right over here. Several times you have to reach up or lean up and look over the curb, or over where the curb is, because you just can't see the curb. Oh man, I missed it. So you have to be careful. I guess if there is a blind spot, it just seems like you're always looking out for the curbs. Like over here, I ran over a curb because I couldn't see. I mean, I'm peeking over, but there's no real view of where the curb is. Over here, you can see it, but I don't know if you notice. I think it's just because the hood goes up. So I can see out, but I can't see down like that. So there's a little bit of a blind spot. You have to be real careful where the curbs are. And of course, Washington D.C., they're pretty tight roads. So I did snick a curb the other day. Tried not to, but what else about this? I thought there was a couple other things I noticed. Actually, I do need to open the hood and peek at the engine and stuff like that. So I'll make another one where I open the hood, peek at the engine, and actually do some video of taking off. There's just no place around here to do that. There's just too much traffic. If I did that, I'd smack somebody. I'd say that this vehicle isn't quite as hinky as... I would say this is more like a Leopard. The Mustang's more like a bull, where you're trying to pull it back all the time. This one actually is a little bit more tame. It's nicer. It still goes fast, but it doesn't quite rip your head off, and it doesn't try to... I don't think it'd be quite as hinky around trying to pull itself around corners. This one seems to be a little bit better balanced. But it's still front heavy, and it looks... you can sort of tell that if you really yanked it, it would back in and kick out. But it doesn't want to kick it out quite as easily as the Mustang. The convertible, of course, still has the roof just sort of is very thick, and so you always have to duck to get in. That was a problem with the other convertible too. That's about it for now. Trying to think what else there is to say about this. I was gonna accelerate going through the corner as soon as this light decides to change. The back seats are still pretty much a shelf. It's leather interior. It's pretty nice. Alright, ready? Let's see. So, it takes off pretty good. But again, there's no place to really test it here. So, alright, well, thanks for watching. I'll probably do another video where I can actually test the speed.